Welcome to Zimnet Radio, your 24/7 internet radio station. Zimnet in a flavor, Zimnet in a danger. One time in a flavor, Zimnet Radio.
Thank you so much for listening to Zimnet Radio. My time is 9 minutes after the hour of 10, and we are live from the United Kingdom. My name is DJ Sodza Mutaraweanga. This is your number one internet radio station, Zimnet Radio. Chirongwa chako che the men's corner ka chatinokupai musi wega wega wechina. Sekuru maswera sei?
Mawana ni mamuka sei.
Taswera kuri sei ku Birmingham.
Birmingham kurutonhora ndikuti wadzime hita mbuya waka.
Muruti mbuya wadzime hita amuzotonhorwa here?
Ya puta kubva kudhara saka zvaupisa manje. Musoro wakuda ziya makumba ari kutonhora.
Zvakupisa kamanje.
Mumba mese mawita semavese wamoto.
Ya, aiwa. Regai mbuya wadzime muchitonhorerwe.
You must get a heating pad for your feet, and then you put your feet on top, then it keeps them warm.
Because it's the feet that are feeling cold, the head and the body.
Yeah,
it's
so
a sign
you
of
get,
old age, isn't it?
yeah, maybe, but my feet were always cold, right from a little girl. It says, cold feet, warm heart. You see? So it's a good thing.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Okay. Sally, how are you there?
I'm very well, thank you, DJ Sodza. And can I make my apology, please?
Oh, okay.
My Sekuru and anybody else that got upset with me using the clinical word for a woman's last week, I am sorry. I said it because it's clinical. I thought it's very clean, and doctors and the nurses and everybody use it, so that's why I said it. I am sorry, my Sekuru, if I offended you. My idea was not to offend you, and if I offended anybody else, I apologize.
Accepted.
Thank you so much, Sally. It has been accepted.
Thank you for that.
Chief Sose.
Can I announce another thing? Pepe is joining us a little bit later on.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you, Sekuru. Chief Sose maswera sei ku America.
Taswera DJ kana maswera say Sekuru. How are you, Sally? You know, I wish we had so many people like you who are willing to take responsibility and say that word, I'm sorry, because there are not many people who are willing to do that. It's a very, very difficult statement to make. Just say I'm sorry. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. And no, sorry is not difficult to say. You don't have to say.
But to be honest with you, personally, I wasn't offended.
I was.
Sekuru is old-fashioned, and I have to.
Madara don't need that.
Yeah, he does Netza very much, but you see, I love the old man terribly. Okay, that's my old man. All right, my Sekuru. So right. I must make apology for it, and that's it.
Okay.
Let's move on. Guys, here Matambo.
Right. Listen, we've got a lot of issues that we want to cover. I mean, for the past week, it has all been unraveling back home. Today I'm lost for words. I sometimes come here with a couple of topics that we can talk about and exhaust. But today I'm actually God smart. I don't know where to start. What has been happening back home? It's incredible, absolutely incredible. From A to Z, where do we start, Sekuru? I don't know, really. really is Grace taking over the ruling of Zimbabwe here? This is what is happening, isn't it, Sekuru, in our eyes here?
Well, if you listen to authorities, it's not beyond realization that she can take over. But how long she will last there is another story altogether. But as it stands now, Grace is quite well positioned to take over the vice presidency and become the de facto presidency.
Now, Sekuru, I remember myself, I think it was 2 years ago, when Chinotimba was coming here and say what he was saying. And I said, I was trying to dig that show up. I said, really, Grace is lining up to take over and be president of Zimbabwe. And people laugh at me at that point. Are you still laughing, Sekuru?
No, I didn't laugh at you. I actually ended up clashing with Chinotimba on that show.
Yes.
Chinotimba was trying to be funny. And I told him that he is not speaking to small children. We know what we are talking about. So basically, I was on your side. The teddy signs were there. The manipulation. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Interrupting, very Sekuru.
The telltale signs were there. The maneuvers were there. The way they were going on about removing Mam Juru and replacing her with the people who Grace was claiming were taking notes from her, was all pointing to the fact that she wanted power over everybody else. And therefore, Chinotimba was trying to say, no, she's not looking after that. She's just exposing corrupt people. And I asked him, how come he became so rich after becoming a commander of the farm invasions, and where he got all his cars. And we didn't agree with Chinotimba, and he promised to come back, and he never came back.
We'll bring him back. Don't you worry about that. I'll hunt him down. Now, Sekuru, really, Saka Sekuru, you are now saying that she is really going to take over here. That there is nothing that us as Zimbabweans can do. Is she qualified to take over?
No, the only thing that Zimbabweans can do to stop Grace becoming the president is to vote against ZANU-PF in 2018. That is the only peaceful way they can do it. The next best thing is to get guns and fight Grace and the junta. Because as it is, she is qualified as a proxy president by virtue of her being married to the president. Like Ceausescu's wife, like Imelda Marcos, like Mamaka Jamira, like Mike Bkapo. She can take over the reins. The qualification aspect of it, there is nobody who is qualified or disqualified to be a president. Everybody is qualified and disqualified to be a president, depending on how you assume power.
But Sekuru, I don't know. You know more about politics than I do. But I'm looking at some of the presidents that I see, the prime ministers that I see, or the prime ministers in waiting, or the presidents in waiting that I see, the way they behave in public. Come on, Sekuru, you cannot have someone who behave like that as a president. Surely.
But then, unfortunately, what you are doing is the worst way to politics. Because you are judging a book by its cover.
Okay.
See, Grace is doing exactly that to gain the attention that it requires to gain adequate publicity, to become an in a reputed national figure.
Uh-huh.
At the present moment, she is only known as the president's wife. So until she has chucked out all these people and shown and flexed their muscle, people will not think she is powerful enough to lead them. But the minute she starts wrestling heavyweights or perceived heavyweights like Emerson, like Mujuru, and now we don't know how the husband Mujuru died. Could she have been a part of the conspiracy to the death? As she builds that, she gains confidence, and the more confidence she gains, the more ability she has of directing. And in directing state affairs, you only need to have an efficient bureaucracy or a very inefficient but loyal bureaucracy.
Okay. So Sekuru, before I go kuna Chief Soshe there, you are telling me that come next year, in fact, by December, we know that you and me know that she will be the vice president of Zimbabwe. Now, that's number one. There's no question about that. Number two, next year, if they do win this election, then she can take over. That's it, isn't it?
No, it's not over until it's over. If you look back in January, to January, Mnangagwa was poised to take over as the next president. But look at him now, where is he? He is now in exile.
Yeah, Sekuru, this is what I'm saying, that anyone arikungosimudza musoro chete in the ZANU-PF is taken out. Once you ukangosimudza musoro chete, you are out. Yeah? Right?
But then you don't seem to realize that every strategy is got counter strategies. At the present moment, Grace has had it very easy on her agenda. But how long that is going to last, given the number of enemies she has now created, and the number of people who have now based, they will become diasporans. Some of them that were vocal about us, diasporans not being allowed to vote, have now become diasporans. And they are not happy diasporans, they are aggrieved diasporans. And their source of grief is Grace. Whatever the maneuvers they are going to do is anybody's guess. But at the present moment, it appears she is having the upper hand. But how long that will last is also anybody's guess.
Okay. All right. Sekuru, thank you so much. Chief Sose.
Hey.
You know, I wanted to talk about the dismissal of Mnangagwa, but it has been everywhere. Everyone has been going on Facebook and going live and talking about it. I am intrigued, actually, because I predicted this 2 years ago, like Sekuru was saying. 2 years ago, I said, Wakomanaka, I think this woman wants to be president. And few people laughed at me. But now, really, Chief, who is going to stop her? She is in, isn't she?
Oh, she's unstoppable.
Yeah, she's unstoppable.
She's unstoppable, and we don't even want her to stop, and I don't think anyone wants to stop her. You know, like last time we discussed this issue when we were talking about Grace, I said Ikona, ndakashandisa tsume shora ndikati mukaona benzi richiti ndokurova rine charakatsika haringotaura chete. You know, Grace, you know, she knew exactly what she was doing. Pese patenge chimti benzi arikuita sei, she knows exactly what she's doing, and it's just part of the plan. And now, definitely, no, maybe not definitely, because ZANU-PF is ZANU-PF. They will come up with another surprise tomorrow. There is also, Edna Madzongwe's name is still being thrown in right now as we're speaking. But from the look of things, yes, she's said to be the next vice president. But like I always say, we should not, us as Zimbabweans, should not really focus on what is happening in ZANU-PF. Yes, it's intriguing, it's interesting, but we should actually focus on putting our act together and getting things that have to be done by the opposition and by the Zimbabwean people, into play. From my own perspective, she's doing a great job. She's doing a great job for us, the opposition. She's doing a great job for the Zimbabwean people. As we would prefer to deal with Amai, Tyson, and Johnson than to deal with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa, with his power, with the power that he had, I'm telling you, he was a ruthless man, and he was going to be a ruthless successor, maybe more ruthless than Mugabe. So from the way I see it, let it be. Amai Ngawapinde, Amai we can deal with here. Mnangagwa, it was going to be worse than it is now. That's how I see it.
Right.
In fact, what she has done right now, she has weakened ZANU-PF, because ZANU-PF minus a person like Mnangagwa is weaker. Mnangagwa, he was the chief election officer for ZANU-PF, and he has been behind all the rigging that has been going on. Mugabe, in the last election in 2008, in 2008, he had actually, was actually about to surrender and to leave the country. It was Mnangagwa who manufactured and who did what he did for the 2008 elections to turn out the way they turned out. So, him gone is good for us. So what we just need to do as opposition is to take advantage of this vacuum that has been created and make sure that we do what we have to do. If Grace comes in and becomes vice president and maybe becomes the de facto president, the only way we can do it and the best way we can do it is to register en masse right now and prepare to take her out next year. Because definitely there is no one who can vote for Amai. She doesn't have any grassroots support. The only support she has right now that is making her be what she is Mugabe. Without Mugabe, that woman is gone. So that woman is going to survive only as far as Mugabe is alive. Once Mugabe is gone, the same way that my Mujuru went, that's the same way that Grace is going to go. But it will be because, it's going to be because of the opposition now. When Mujuru was there, because she was strong, very strong, on the strength of her husband. That's the same thing that is happening now. So we don't have to worry about it. All we need to do as Zimbabweans is to go and vote, to register and then go and vote whoever is there. And it's most likely going to be her.
Okay. Aywa, thank you so much, Chief Soshe, for that. That's another angle that you've come with. It is easier to deal. We would rather have Amai than Emerson Mnangagwa, because Mnangagwa was going to be a tough person for us. He was more dangerous than Amai. Thank you so much. Sally?
Yes, DJ Sodza.
You've been seeing this unraveling in Zimbabwe. It's very interesting, isn't it?
I love it. I love it. It was you and me that said that Grace was going to... I said she was going to be president.
Yes.
And I still say it.
No, you know what, Sally? She's definitely going to be president sooner or later. She's just actually she's shoe in, basically shoe in.
Yes. You see, I don't even think she's going to want to be a vice president. She's going to put that Edna Madzongwa.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
She's going to put her in. Because let me tell you, for the first time ever, I will tell you now that Grace is leading the Mugabe party. That dismissal of Emerson Mnangagwa, that was Grace. That had nothing to do with Mugabe.
Absolutely.
And another thing is, she is not clever. You see, this is what ZANU-PF does. They do these things off the cuff. They do it, pah. They don't think, what about tomorrow or the next year, or what can happen, what can this, She didn't want Emerson, okay? Because in her tiny little mind, okay, this guy was so dangerous there, all right? Now he's out, and I say, okay, that he's more dangerous out than what he was in. Now, I want her as president. I want her as president of the Mugabe party. And I'll tell you why I want her as president of the Mugabe party. I will even go and vote for her to be president of the Mugabe party. Because it will be the final cleansing of ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe. The big boys have all been gnashing at the bit, okay? They like wild animals in a cage to get to lead ZANU-PF. And none of them have been able to because of Mugabe. So they've waited and waited and waited. Now you put Grace in as president. They'll be climbing over each other, killing each other, eating each other to get to become president. And that is what I want. Because it'll be the cleansing of Zimbabwe. I'm telling you, for me, it's playing out absolutely beautifully. I never, ever, I'll tell you this now, I never, ever thought that Emerson Mnangagwa would be kicked out. Never, not in a million years. Demoted as vice president? Yes. I could see that, okay? But to be kicked out.
Not only kicked out of the party, out of Zimbabwe, actually.
Well, he ran. He says he ran.
Yeah, but we don't know what was happening.
Look,
we don't know what was happening. He knew what was coming.
Grace wants Mnangagwa dead. She said, I want Mnangagwa gone. What does that mean? Okay? She wants him dead. And come hell or high water, she's going to keep trying. This woman, in her greed, is completely and utterly out of it. It's like she's high on acid or something, okay? She is so high on this greed of it's not the power that she wants, it's the money. It's the money that she wants, okay? And she's going to do things that you don't even imagine. This woman, please, Mugabe's going to seem like an angel. This thing she wants that money. She wants the complete control of the money.
Okay, I tend to differ with you there. She's got money already. Is this not just about power?
No, she hasn't got money, because if she had, you see, other dictators, when they realize that things are crumbling, okay, they're gone, because they've already got the money out. It seems like with the Zimbabwe, that ZANU-PF thing, there is some disease there of the mind, okay, because they can have all the money that you can possibly think of, and yet at the end of the day they have no money. It seems as if through this greed, okay, they just spend. All right? And at the end of the day, they have nothing. And you see, another thing, this is something that's baffled my mind for a long, long time. A dictator never went away on holiday for 3-4 months at a time and just went, okay? These other dictators, you look at them. They don't leave their country for love or money. Okay? Mugabe would go, off he'd go for 3 months, and then he'd do this, and nobody ever did anything. What is the control that he has that stopped Zimbabweans from uprising? This is my thing.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Okay, Sally, thank you so much. For those that are just joining us, it's 28 minutes before 11, Kunoku United Kingdom. I know a lot of people have been asking that DJ Manono Kakuya Pachirongwa Aiwa. We changed our clocks last week, so we are not in British summertime now. We are in GMT. So mark that. We're in GMT now, so we are well on time here. We are just discussing the events that have been taking place in Zimbabwe there. I know that the former vice president Mnangagwa was kicked out. Not only kicked out as a vice president, but actually kicked out of ZANU-PF altogether, and he decided to run away out of Zimbabwe. And we are hearing that he was citing, there was some tensions there, and he didn't think he was safe staying in Zimbabwe at this present time. But anyhow, I'm intrigued by how Grace is sweeping to power in Zimbabwe. Basically, that's what I want to know. How can this woman sweep to power like this in before our eyes? It's incredible. But 2 years ago, we foresee this coming. But a few people here ridiculed it. And they said, no, she can never, ever rule Zimbabwe. Ever. But I tell you something, I think that woman is going to take over and rule Zimbabwe as we speak. Anyhow, we don't know what tomorrow brings, but that's how I feel. Tetuwe Mashoko, what do you feel about it?
Hey boy, makadini mos.
Tinofara maswera say.
Hi sweet, how are you? Do you remember a few weeks ago in the city there are 15 billion reasons why Mugabe nemukadzi wake vasingafe vakaenda? Because money, and then gukura hundi, ana rashiwe guzha, the list just goes on. A litany of reasons why ZANU-PF, or rather Grace, will never, ever hand power over to anybody. I don't see her really holding and maintaining that power hold, though.
But she's going to get there, isn't she?
Oh, absolutely, she's going to try, no doubt about that. But then, the thing that is really sad about Zimbabwean state of affairs, people don't learn from history. People don't learn what the true meaning of accountability means. People don't learn what it means to be either an opposition party or an opposition leader or a community leader for that matter. People don't understand what it takes to hold on to power or to get that power or to demand what is rightfully yours. And then finally, people want to actually step back, especially this young generation. Most of them vatazvarira overseas or vatanokudza overseas. That akiti yokuti this is our future. That is being robbed in front of our eyes. The mere fact yokuti two people can actually boo and had the guts to boo Grace and then be beaten whilst people are looking. That passivity, it's not passive aggression or anything, it's passivity, where you're allowing somebody to exploit you, humiliate you, ground you into the ground, and you just continue playing, the victim. Well, you know what? You can only play the victim for so long. There comes a time when you can't play the victim because you are your only hope of survival. So, Nas, I'm not going to be a favorite of anybody. I'm just going to call it as it is. I'll turn back first to Kunababa Wangudziwa. It is pure selfishness and lack of accountability and leadership. When you know you've got a diagnosis that has not only 50-50, but it's actually 95% of non-survival. And then you don't call upon my leaders, this is the person I'm nominating. Take over, utilize what is happening today, mobilize people. And this is the part you become a mentor, a leader, a groomer. You become a person who parts the Red Sea in order to pass it through using your wisdom. History repeats itself. People are mourning and going on about grace. At the end of the day, people get leaders they deserve. People are so passive. They're busy fighting amongst themselves, calling out each other. Look at any person anobuda achida kutaura with a voice. Immediately, my skeletons out of cabinets ake anobuda. And then the message just gets lost. So we deserve what is happening today. We are the butt of every African nation's joke. Because artists who use that not only that education, but the wisdom. Munoza kune isusu huwe laki taimbo nogarana na sekuru na nambuya. Baitu zanyaza na sekuru surona gudu. Because they wanted to educate us. What it means to be cunning. What it means to hold back and strategically you go in. Finally. Pano pakazarama lawyer. Pakazarama nurse. So I'm going to use example yoyo. My lawyer mess pamunenda court. You use my previous cases to inform whatever will be happening presently. My nurse mess pamunenda kwa munonoenda kuma clinical meetings and so forth. You use evidence-based planning, decision making, whatever it is. Saka nasi, you think Nika Ichaita fall into the lap of the right people like a ripe plum because of. I leave it there.
Aywa. Thank you so much, Tete Wemashoko, for that. Very interesting. Beautiful. Indeed. Mukoma Wilbert, Masura Sig, Manchester.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with us. You're a little bit late today.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, that's good. Hello, Teto Masoko. Hello, Sally. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Wilbert. How are you?
Fine. Well, my comments, DJ, on this one is it is a sad occasion that Zimbabwe has sunk this low. Let's face it. I mean, some of us who are here in the UK, for instance, right now, Prime Minister Theresa May is in trouble because in as many weeks she has lost 2 cabinet ministers. And how much more trouble would she have been if she had sacked her deputy president, and then as we all know, there are going to be a lot more guys who are going to be sacked in the coming weeks. Already, even big wigs like Chinamasa, Machingura, Opam Chinguri have already been booted out of their respective provinces and so forth, and will finally be booted out of the party and the government. This is a government in serious chaos, and the unfortunate thing is Mugabe is pulling the party into the gutter, and it's pulling Zimbabwe into the gutter as well. We have got a serious economic problem in Zimbabwe. And instead of concentrating on that, is busy wasting time fighting among themselves. I would wish I could agree with some of the people on this forum who think that winning the elections will be easier now that there's so much fighting in ZANU-PF. I don't think so. I think ZANU-PF's ability to rig elections is still untouched. ZEC is still doing what it has been doing all along. And most of these other people who help with the vote rigging are all lining up with whoever is in power. They don't look at who it is as long as they know they are going to benefit from the system. So they will realign themselves. And if we do not do something to stop the rigging, they will rig the elections. And once they've rigged the elections, it will be very difficult to say they are not democratically elected, because they will turn around and say, well, there is evidence. You know, we've been duly elected by the people of Zimbabwe. So we are back to where we were again. And I think that is what people must seriously think about. We have got to do something to stop the process repeating itself over and over and over again. ZANU-PF may have their own problems, but when it comes to staying in power, they know, most of those people know, staying in power means cooperating with whoever is in government at the time. So Grace Mugabe, as much as I don't think she has got any leadership qualities, nonetheless, the system will propel her into that position as president. And the system will maintain her in that position as president. That is the reality that we've got to face. And we will be talking on this forum and saying, oh, we didn't see this happen, but it has happened.
Right.
We don't know what to do next.
Okay. Thank you so much. So it looks like everyone is in agreement here that she's going to take over. I don't know, at the age of what, 55, 56? Then she's going to be in power till 90, 93 or something like that. Then we are talking another 40 years down the line here, guys. Surely? Is it Sekuru? Are we resigned to that?
Well, like I said, at the present moment, she has positioned herself to be president of ZANU-PF, not president of the country. The president of the country is another thing altogether, because it's an inter-party contest. At the present moment, what she is guaranteed is taking over from her husband within ZANU-PF. So I wouldn't go as far as saying she is now guaranteed to be the president of Zimbabwe, because to become the president of Zimbabwe requires you maneuvering a certain political terrain, which is totally different from the one she is treading on at the present moment. At the present moment, she is dealing with people who are subservient and loyal to her husband, and she is riding roughshod of them. But in the national presidential election, the terrain changes dramatically, because the people who she will have to contest there do not take orders from her husband. They actually want to topple her husband, and they openly say so. These ones that she is riding roughshod are not even prepared to open their mouth and say they want to contest to Mugabe. They are not contenders to Mugabe. They are contenders to everybody else, not Mugabe. And so this is a totally different thing altogether. It is a different ball game altogether. You may be surprised that some of her handlers may be pushing her up front so that she becomes the sitting duck president of the party, and then they want to topple her for the national presidency within her own party, let alone outside parties. So as far as I'm concerned, I am not ruling out her trying to contest for the national presidency. But whether she'll get it or not is a totally different ballgame to the ZANU-PF presidency contest. The ZANU-PF president contest, if she says tomorrow, I am now the president, Mugabe cannot even contest here, because she is running his life. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Sekuru, thank you so much. Zvandakuita panapa Zimbabwe. Let's move on. I've got a very short message that I would like to read. I know that for sure, vanhu vakadaisa Sekuru na Chief Sose, you are not going to like it. But this is the beauty of the discussion we have here. I know for sure you two are not going to like it, and you might actually clip my ear kusaidu kuti why did you bring this up, but I'm gonna bring it up.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Make the whole world know about your business. Advertise with Zimnet Radio. Email marketing@zimnetradio.com. Welcome to Zimnet Radio, your 24/7 internet radio station. Zimnet in a flavor. Zimnet in a danger. One time in a flavor. Zimnet Radio.
Zvisinei mhuri yeZimbabwe ndozvo zvinoitaka. Thank you so much for listening to Zimnet Radio. My time is 9 minutes after the hour of 10 and we are live from the United Kingdom. My name is DJ Sodza Mutaraweanga. This is your number one internet radio station, Zimnet Radio. Chirongwa chako che the men's corner ka chatinokupai musi wega wega wechina. Sekuru maswera sei?
Mawana ni mamuka sei?
Taswera kuri sei ku Birmingham.
Birmingham kurutonhora ndikutoti vadzime hita mbuya waka.
Muruti mbuya wadzime hita amuzotonhorwa here. Zvisinei andizvo zvinoita. Tisingapedzi nguva yenyu 9 minutes before 11. Regai ndiverenge a very small message I've got here. Kwanziko concerning Morgan Tsvangirai's misguided interview about Mnangagwa yesterday. It's worrying that having been out of the public eye whilst receiving treatment in South Africa, the first communication Morgan chose to make after weeks out of the public eye was to address ZANU-PF internal succession politics. He has a national electorate waiting with bated breath to learn whether or not he will be well enough in time to lead an election campaign that is already underway, and to hear what his battle plans are, along with prospects of building a broad-based coalition to push out ZANU-PF once and for all and preempt Mugabe's dynastic ambitions. And yet, instead of addressing his businesses, he chose instead to break his silence from far away in South Africa by commenting on the fate of the dictator's key henchman and his likely participation on politics post-ejection. Whoever advised him to make that inappropriate interview doesn't seem qualified to be an advisor. What's your take on that, Seku, that comment?
Well, the person is the writer is right in his inaneness or in his immaturity or amateurism about politics. So we applaud that there is that type of transparency that allows him to come up and write those issues without fear and direct the party to the right thing. The only thing that I admire about what he said is that he has already indicated that there are millions of Zimbabweans waiting to hear from Tsvangirai the state of his preparedness for 2018. It is encouraging to hear that from a person who is so critical about the president. But be that as it may, let me put this clear and tacit and so unambiguous that it doesn't need any further interpretation. The first thing is Tsvangirai is a national leader of the highest pedigree. In fact, in normal democracies, the opposition leader commands a very respectable position in the politics body politics of the country. It's just said that people think he should not comment on the important issue of the dismissal of a key member of the bureaucracy that is in charge of the country's affairs. That is what opposition is all about. If that person was listening carefully, Tsvangirai made it tacitly clear that there is no problem with ZANU-PF tussling each other in the party. But there is a massive problem when that tussling has got a direct impact on the national well-being. Because if that results in people wanting to take over power using unconstitutional means, then it is incumbent on this writer of yours to understand what that means. If the struggle within ZANU-PF as the party in government results in a division which results in other people wanting to use unconstitutional means, the opposition must stand up and put that on the table so that the people can think about it in a rational manner. Would they rather want an unconstitutional government with the president using the army to keep him in power, or the fired vice president using the same institution, the army, to topple his boss? What will that mean to our vote? What will it mean to his vote, the one who is complaining? How is he going to express himself in the affairs of his country? If that should be the end result of this squabbling. That's all Tsvangirai said in terms of this, and that was statement-like. It is important for us to distinguish between partisanship and national affairs.
Kungokubata muromo baba ipapo. Kune vanhu vese vanonzwisisa leadership skills. Whenever a leader is either taken ill or has taken sabbatical or has taken fellowship, whatever, the reason they immediately announce an interim leader is to foster confidence and to maintain whatever plans angaripo. Confidence is not only confidence amongst Iwo Barimu team. Confidence is amongst vanhu vacho vavari kuleader. This has been going on for so long, and it should have been put to rest. One thing that we must not get wrong, Panapa, is kuti Baba Tsvangirai is a true leader. What he did, 90% of my leaders are today vazvitadza, which is kumira kugara muZimbabwe vagoprohwa vagobuda and still stand and say, you know what, I'm not going and this is what we want. We are not taking that away from Baba Tsvangirai. Musha unokura, musha unonzwisisa kana vana vachichema. Mwana kana achichema haumupe sweet, haumupe mvura womuti enda unorara. Unoona kuti wamupa chikafu chinomusastena orara. Baba vanoti aiwa inini, my needs angu inini are important. Then my needs evana vandakaunza munyika or vandiri kuleader is not a good father. So let's not get that mistaken at all. This time we need a leader. Grace is not a leader. She is typical of what Africa has always consistently been, full of mama dictators who hand down power from family to mwana to whatever. History is repeating itself. Zvataona from Southern Africa mamusina izvozvo, but takuzviona. So kana muchikwanisa kutaura mega nana baba, because we do know kuti munotaura navo vana baba Tsvangirai. This is the time to clean house. Mouya motiudza kuti isusu zvatafunga ndeizvi.
Isusu we stand guided by the grassroots of our party. We believe that party is people driven. And when the people express a concern, we will get it to the highest point. At the present moment, the clarity of the matter is that the three vice presidents, Tonko, Nelson, and Elias, are leading the party projects in their respective areas of accountability.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
And those areas were clearly defined to them by the president, not when he was sick or when he was under any pressure. He defined those roles when we were planning the strategy for 2018 elections. Nothing is stopping. What is stopping is the figurehead presence, the charm, the charisma of Morgan Tsvangirai. That is what is missing. Everything else, any other project is on course.
Right.
And it's being led by very competent people.
Okay, right. Okay, Sekuru, I've got questions, but without ndimbopo wamwe vapindure. Chief Sose, manzwa zvanyorwa nemunyori. What's your take the points that he has raised?
I want to answer the writer very specifically. And then he does end up kumberi. First of all, he said he's questioning why Tsvangirai chose to come out at this juncture. There are 3 points here that are very clear. Morgan did not phone SABC so that he can make the comment that he made. Number 2, Morgan did not make a written statement and forward it to SABC or to any news outlet. Number 3, Morgan Tsvangirai or his advisor or anyone thereof did not call for a press conference to discuss the issue of Mnangagwa. SABC is a very big information organization. They would look for Morgan. They would look for anyone. They would hunt for anyone if they needed a comment. After all, they knew that he was in South Africa. It was SABC who did everything that they could to get a comment, to solicit for a comment from Zimbabwe's opposition leader. So it was nothing planned. If it was planned, then you would talk about the strategies, then you would talk about his advisors, then you would talk about Morgan choosing the wrong time to come out and address the people of Zimbabwe. Morgan is in South Africa recuperating from his cancer treatment. And he is not even in hospital. And as of what is supposed to be done in Zimbabwe, we should be grateful that we have come this far and Morgan has done what he has done. We have now a coalition which is in itself a great achievement. It never happened in all these elections. MDC, Morgan Tsvangirai in particular, was always looked at as someone who is selfish because he wants to go it alone. Now he invited everyone. The coalition, the broad-based coalition that the writer is talking about is in place. And the door was made open to everyone. And it's still open to everyone. And things are happening as we are speaking. The registration is going on, which is being spearheaded by the coalition partners. And even in the MDC itself, nothing has stopped. The programs are going on that were set to go on. If we love Zimbabwe, if we are patriotic Zimbabweans, we should actually be praying for this man that he recuperates early and he come back to finish what he started in 1999, than to just look at the blemish that is there. And people look at the small dot that is in someone, and then forget this whole white paper and this whole things and everything that he has done for the people of Zimbabwe, and that he's going to do for the people of Zimbabwe. I don't see anything wrong in what Tsvangirai did. He is supposed to comment on topical issues in Zimbabwe, and SABC sought for his comment, and he commented. If he had not commented, if he had said he has no comment, I'm telling you, right now the rumor mill will be running amok, saying Tsvangirai can't even talk. Tsvangirai can't even, speak because he's too sick. The fact that he spoke the way he spoke with SABC, I'm telling you, it gave me hope. And I'm telling you, it also gave hope to millions other Zimbabweans that Tsvangirai is there. He's not even in hospital. He's not even dying as other people have been moving around saying that, oh, Tsvangirai has been given a month, he has been given 2 months. He was very lively. You could see, you could even hear from his voice that the man is there and is going to be back to lead Zimbabwe from the front and deliver Zimbabwe from where it is right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Chief Sose. Sally, you were listening when I was reading what the writer put across. What did you make of it?
Look, I didn't see anything wrong with what Tsvangirai did, okay? And I'm the last person to ever say anything like that, all right? But there was nothing wrong. The SABC was the one that went looking for him. They asked his opinion and he gave it. I mean, what more do you want? Do you want the man to say, I know I'm not going to answer it, because I have to speak to my people? No. The SABC guy, the newsreader, asked him a question and he answered. So, nothing wrong. I want to just jump in quickly about something.
Okay.
When this business about Morgan Tsvangirai stepping down and all that, yes, he should. And it doesn't matter what the people think. His thing should be, look, people, I can't give you 101%.
Right.
I'm ill. I need time to recuperate. I need time to gather myself together. I need time to heal. Okay? These people are are taking my place. I will be in the background, but I'm not going to be your president anymore because of my health. Okay?
You know what, Sally? You have taken everything that I wanted to say. But please go ahead. Go ahead. I won't say it because exactly that's what I wanted to ask you. And I say, Kuruguti. Personally, that's what I feel. What you have said. Go ahead.
Yes. No. It's every other leader in the opposition in the world. Okay. There comes a time when they realize, look, now is enough for me. I've had. The younger people must take on this fight now. I've fought a long fight. Okay, I've been in control for so long and everything. I'm passing the baton on. And it doesn't matter whether the people don't want it or not. It's up to the leader, okay, to have enough insight and foresight and enough confidence in himself and the other leaders in the party, in his party, okay, to realize that, hey, cool, I can't go any further. Look, a man with colon cancer, this is not a joke.
You see, Sally, this is another thing I wanted to say as well. You are saying exactly what I wanted to say, that people, colon cancer, it's not a joke. Now, people should understand that.
And listen, it's very few people. Very few people. This is not, I am not being a doomster, okay? I'm talking from my little bit of medical when I was a nurse, all right? Colon cancer, 99% of the people don't walk out, okay? It's a very aggressive form of cancer, okay? And it's very rampant. It's not an easy cancer, and it's not a cancer that a lot of people walk away from. I'm talking about a lot of people, okay? Colon cancer is a death certificate. And the man needs all of his faculties to fight this, okay? I seriously don't see how he could go. Do you know what chemotherapy is?
You see, this is the problem, Sally. People are not understanding the situation, because for people like myself, I see it every day. This is not a joke. It's a serious issue. And really, Tsvangirai should be on the road now in Zimbabwe. We are less than 6 months to the elections.
Exactly. Look, chemotherapy, you are putting radioactive liquid into your body. You know the stuff that nuclear bombs are made out of? The Rocket Man, like Trump calls old Kim, from North Korea. I can't say his surname, so please don't ask me to. It'll come out all wrong, and then Sukuru will get upset with me. I know he's already upset with me, but that one I can say. So, you know, for me as being part of that nursing profession, to see this man doing what he's doing doesn't even make sense to me. Chemotherapy, a lot of the time, does more damage physically and mentally than the actual cancer, okay? Because it is terrible. It is the worst thing that you can have. You're drinking a nuclear bomb, or you're getting it injected put in your veins through drips and whatever, okay? It's not fun. So, I mean, to me, I think he's doing himself a great misjustice. I really do. And I think, for me, any of his past glory is being obliterated. Mm-hmm. Seriously.
Right.
That's for me.
Okay,
now, I'm ready for the attacks.
Yeah. No, that's fine, Sally. I'm not going to say anything, because exactly what you said is what I wanted to put in. And the only thing you didn't say there was, Morgan Tsvangirai, to me, he is one of those heroes of Zimbabwe. Come what may to him, he is a hero to me. If someone deserved to go to the National Heroes Acre, it's Morgan Tsvangirai. He has fought tooth and nail for us in Zimbabwe. Nobody can ever doubt that. We are out of the country ourselves. I feel coward myself that I'm not there in the battle. Tsvangirai has been there, seen it, and done it. You understand? He has been there, seen it, and done it.
Because I just didn't. But yes, he is a national hero.
Yeah.
Okay? And nobody can ever take that away from him. Nobody. Okay? Nobody can take that away from him. But he's doing himself, okay, when he needs every bit of him to fight this awful, awful, awful disease.
Right.
He needs every bit of him, not the stress and the strain and everything of an election and all that kind of... No, he doesn't need that. Mm-hmm. He really does not need it.
Okay, and Skuzoti, Chief, so say you want to comment on that?
Anyway, DJ and people of Zimbabwe, you know, there is this tendency that we have as Zimbabweans, that when we are presented with an opportunity for us to take advantage of, I don't know whether it is self-doubting ourselves. We start to, scrutinize ourselves more than, we should be concentrating on taking advantage of a situation that has been presented to us. Right now, we are supposed to be talking about Grace. We're supposed to be talking about Mnangagwa. But here we are busy now talking and banishing our biggest hope in Zimbabwe. Right now, to be honest with you, our biggest hope, Zimbabwe's biggest hope, is Morgan Tsvangirai. Yes, I agree with everyone that the succession issue in MDC could have been handled better. Morgan could have done so much more. You could have done better in ensuring that there was a smooth transition in as far as succession is concerned. But to my fellow Zimbabweans, I don't think this is the right time, 5 months before election, to be thinking of, putting someone in place of Morgan. Morgan, he spoke yesterday. Some of us, I don't want to say anything, but I'm just saying we are closer to the situation. We talk about people. Morgan is going to recover. He is going to come back, and he's going to do what he has to do. Thokozani Kupe herself, she had cancer, and she had to go through chemotherapy. She went through that chemotherapy, and now here she is. She's still leading the struggle. So for us to be turning against our own, to be discouraging us, and to be saying these discouraging comments, of course, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. But I think this is the time for us to be coming together, praying for each other, covering each other's back, and doing the things that we are supposed to be doing. Yes, Morgan is supposed to be on the campaign trail, but who is on the campaign trail? You are actually my president, who is on the campaign trail right now? Even Kuzanu PF, who is on the campaign trail right now? Yes, we can do more. Morgan is going to come back and he's going to do what he has to do. What we can only do right now is to come together as Zimbabweans and push for registration. That's all that has to be done right now. Because we can do everything that we can, but if people don't register, even if we get someone from the moon who is not Morgan Tsvangirai, who will not win that election. So let's focus on what has to be focused.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God! Did Andrade just say that? As a Budichina.
Teto Mashoko. Teto Mashoko. Let me give you opportunity as well to say what you got to say about this. I know Guti Chief Shoshoar Gutanzi here don't defect from Jana Grace, but Jana Grace is, we can't talk about that nonsense all the time. These are some of the issues that people of Zimbabwe are worried about, that this is a leader who is in South Africa. And colon cancer, Teto Mashoko, I think you know more about it yourself. It is not a joke.
You know what? I get sad when I hear my leaders, for that matter, saying, there's nothing to see here, keep moving on, just believe it's there, Iripo MDC. And then, one thing that I'm more sad is the fact that Panapapane ndofunga about 4, I'm counting about 4 man medical background, not specialists, we are not cancer specialists, but ndofunga tese, we have cared for people with colon cancer, brain cancer. I just recently lost somebody, and my chances of cancer are just as bad. And when you're talking of colon cancer, I remember this old lady sitting on the commode and blood just gushing out. And I didn't know what to do. I swear to God, I think it was my first placement. Just didn't know what to do. I'm at my late stages. So when people say, no, you are bashing, you are doing this, people don't understand. Tese takamanya including iwo budi vangu tikanojoina mama parties tikadina sitadzoka ta MDC tamunya sita kuti, but you know what, we've got hope here. The very things zvakamboita kuti titi scatter is exactly what is history repeating itself. People not listening. People personalizing zvisiri supposed to be personalized. People are not listening kuti party even strong. This is what we need. Nothing personal. Hakuna munhu wandino respect inini panika baba Tsvangirai. I swear to God. If anybody were to say anything personal, chiri insulting, I'll defend it. Left, right, and center. And I'm not just saying that because I know Eradziva. No. I just like him as a person. I first met Tsvangirai and I was about 25, I don't know, somewhere there. And I liked him. Straight to the point. This is the point, Andrew Kumeka and Radz. That man is full of wisdom. That man had opportunities yekutiza wonogara kuno kuAmerica achirohwa nemhepo kana kuenda kuUK. He never. That man has been brutalized, reduced to nothing, humiliated neZANU-PF. He didn't. That man right now, if he had my advisors who are telling him to use that strength, what he learned, wisdom, Ari. Listen, when somebody is on a bed, you are not coherent even zvaurikufunga. You are not even supposed to be stressed about zvihombe zvakadaro. That's why uchitorwa kana imemi bhudhi munogara muno muAmerica munotorwa pakati pesango unogara the poshest place recuperating kana uine cancer. There's a reason people do that. So when you say he's making the decisions, he's quite okay and we should, that's not true. Come on. That's not true. And that's not bashing him either. That's saying every single day, nasi deno tichiona munhu ari pa TV, munoona zviri kuita kamwana kai ka S Lumumba kai. Very intelligent, but kind of on the borderline here, autistic, talks nonsense at times, but very intelligent. That is what, whether it's Chamisa, whether it's Toko, whether it's whoever that he nominates, every single day should be on Facebook. Every single day should be on my national TVs, international TVs, pushing my messages, fostering hope, telling my youth, Chichi, I'm telling you today, this anger that you are sensing within us, this desperation we are all sensing, this you know what, nasi ndikuenda pa radio, everything else mabhuku paside, nasi ndikuda kumbota uroneni, because ezvo zvindakufunga ndine mhuri iri kuZimbabwe. If anything goes wrong, I have to go back into the fray. This wouldn't be, this heightened anxiety wouldn't be as bad as it is if we had a leader challenging, standing toe to toe na Grace achimutaura to sit down nambuya. Kana muchiida sit, you will have to fight for it. You're not going to grab it just under people's feet like that. We don't. Ndochokwadi pamberi paMwari. Atina ari kupa a clear, coherent message. Atina baba Tsvangirai vari kubuda pa TV. Atina baba Tsvangirai vari kubuda pa radio vasingatauri kuti no, I'm not in hospital, I'm actually conversating somewhere else, wherever, or recuperating somewhere else. That's not the point. We need a face, we need a message, we need direction, we need kunzi iye zvino munoziva zvinoita mademocrats. Imimi Budi taurai chokwadi. Democrat every day munotumirwa message nemademocrats muchinzi $3 ungoona ungoti credit card 3 chimajene kuti vanhu ruwat 100 vakatumira $300 zvinobatsira mari. That's what NAS MDC should be doing, and I'm not bashing them. Ndiri kungopa voice rangu.
I think mataura zvatanzwa. Let me put it this way. Whether you are bashing Tsvangirai or not bashing him is immaterial. What is important is makonsense vanhu anofanira kusvika kuna president and they will get to the president. So what will happen on this program, sezvamataura, we will get a copy of it from Sali and we will send it to the president's office. And you will listen to it ari kurikava saizvozvo. Now, the other issue that I want to make clear is that nyaya yamuri kutaura ye-leadership ye-press coverage ndeyekuti even when he is at the forefront or in the background, the difference is the same, because Zimbabwe press doesn't cover him positively. It only covers him in the negative sense. Zvamunotaura zvana SL Mumba Chichi nana, so I think pane munhu anoita futi Fadzai Mahere. I also think pane munhu anoita izvozvo futi. Those, if you go to face with Nelson Chamisa, who is the program manager for that coverage, you will be able to have a conversation with him on Facebook every day. So it's happening. It may be that you are not a friend of Nelson Chamisa and you are a friend of these other people. If you friend face to face with Nelson Chamisa, you will find those issues happening. If you go to the project of managing the whole affairs, if you go to Toko Kupi and friend her on Facebook, you find that there are projects that she's managing there to do with the voter registration and the motivation of people to move to register. If you go to the social contracts, you will find Budzuri is there. So, as far as the party is concerned, the way it is set up now, it's that charismatic leader that is not visible. And that charismatic big figure in the MDC is the person. The glue is Morgan Tsvangirai. Now he is incapacitated by ailment. And we are now saying Mr. Tsvangirai should step down because he is ill. Fine and good. But if we do that, we lose that glue.
Right.
What are we?
Okay.
No. Let me just carry on.
Okay, finish off.
What we need is that glue because we are towards an election. It's unfortunate that he has been struck by illness at a very untimely moment. But we should not abandon him because abandoning him or forcing him to do what he doesn't want to do might even make him feel worse and we might even lose him completely. Because of the trauma of missing the action of what has always kept him going all his life. Right? I don't want to go into the medical issue because I'm not a medical person, but I want you guys to be professional. Don't diagnose a person from other. Just if you have seen Tsvangirai and physically examined him and you have established that his condition is no longer tenable for him to take a leadership position, we would welcome your opinions. But at the present moment, you leave us with doubt about your professionalism. Whether we are medical persons or not, personally, I don't appreciate Zechinganga. I want a diagnosis. I examine the patient. Otaura kuti patient yako inonzwa zvakati ndakutenga mapirizi akati kana kuti azvichida basa rokuti utenge mapirizi tangopedza pain tichipisa nezvamunopisa nazvo zveshe. But at the present moment, what you are doing, ladies and gentlemen, please, tibatsireiwo sokuda kwamuitawo kuti tisvitse mashoko enyuka, tibatsireiwo kuti imimi musaspread alarm and despondence without the facts.
Right. Okay. Aiwa, Sekuru, mashoko akanaka chose amuri kutaura iyayo. I'm just wondering here, Sekuru Murguti, we mustn't force Tsvangirai to abandon. But if
no, I'm not
Tsvangirai,
saying that. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
You are party members. You are at liberty to say whatever you want.
Oh,
what
okay.
I'm saying is, don't spread rumors about the nature of his ailment before you examine him.
Right.
Nobody's spreading rumors.
Okay. No, Sekuru.
I disagree with that slightly. I appreciate what you have said, Baba, and Tambira. But you know what? In this day and age, it's a bit naive to think that diabetes too. Somebody is not going to Google it and find out exactly what it means and find out the prognosis of it. What I think even Mukwasho Wangu, the panelist, Banyatso it a hold back, kuti vataure exactly what it means. And often Wese really held back. We could have said much more. That is
my issue is not you should not speak about it, Mzuguru. That is not the issue. The issue is when you say this thing, when you talk about your professional area, be professional.
And I appreciate that, Baba Ndosaka Manzwa Nchita, we totally appreciate that. Inini, ndisingaziye vamwe kuti what's their take. Ini, chaita kuti nditi, look, let's be honest about this. It's the mere fact yekuti pana umwana vanenge vasina that knowledge. Imimi vacho, you are dismissing it. Kuti, you know what, he's fine. He's going to bounce back. And, you know, everything is, it's all kosher and, you know.
Not quite, Muzukuru. Let me tell you, the way you have said it, I have Googled it, and you can't fail to Google it. And I have done that, right? And I know the possibilities that are there. But I don't know the medical condition Yaka diagnosed for Tsvangirai, because Tsvangirai is the only person who came out and said, I have been diagnosed with colon cancer. But let me tell you, I am so close to him that I know his condition in the present moment. He is better than what people are projecting at the moment.
Zvakanaka Sekuru. The thing is, to be honest, Sekuru, inine hangu, I don't really want to get into that kind of kuti mazita and professional. I know everyone has to be professional about these things, and I would like Tsvangirai to live to the day that he finds Zimbabwe out of ZANU-PF. He has fought almost all his life, half of his life, trying to topple ZANU-PF. And he is a man who has said nobody should go in the street and fight. He doesn't want blood. He wants to do this in a democratic way. And he stands by that. This is a man who has been beaten, he has been imprisoned, he could have well gone to America and live the American dream, if you like. But he chose to stay there. That's why I say for me he's a hero. But if Tsvangirai was tomorrow to come down and say, look, guys, as a leader, not to put any pressure from anybody, himself, and say, now guys, I need my rest now, I've done my part. I stay in the party, I can stay in the background and give advice here and there, but someone should take over. Would you hold any grudge about that, Sekuru, if Tsvangirai come out tomorrow and say that?
Not at all, Muzukuru. We actually are doing our best also to look after his health as close allies of his. We also are acting in his best interest. But we also are also mature enough to understand that part of his life will be taken out of him if he still feels that he has got an unfinished business that is keeping him alive, that is keeping him kicking, that keeps his adrenaline running. And we then go to him and say, no, Sabe, we feel that at the present moment that is the wrong way message at the wrong time to the wrong person. But however, programs like this, we will transmit them to him so that he also listens to the concerns of his followership.
Okay. Mukoma Wilbert, what's your take on this? Because there's a small story I want to polish out before we finish there. Mukoma Wilbert, what's your take on this? I know Zankuti Munyore that's where they were going, Kuti. Really, Sawe should rest now, given his prognosis.
I think it's a pity that we have got people who double talk here. They say at one breath, oh, you're allowed to say what you want, but don't say it. You know, it's a pity that that is the case. What has happened in ZANU-PF is surely a clear sign that we really need to look at this issue of leaders passing on the baton to the next leader, rather than hang on to until their last breath. You know, that is what has destroyed ZANU-PF. And MDC is our only hope, because we need an alternative when ZANU-PF has collapsed. And because MDC is itself having its own problems,
that is what has made the situation worse here. And in this particular instance, to say that Tsvangirai should be allowed to hang on, it's the same thing as saying Mugabe should be allowed to hang on. He has been in power, Tsvangirai, for 17 years now, and I think it is not, even if it wasn't for his health, it's still a point where you're saying, I think he should seriously should have handed over. Originally, the MDC constitution said he's allowed to stay in for 2 terms. Now, that was cleverly edited out. Now it's an open-ended thing. That is what is destroying African politics. Instead of having meaningful competition for positions in power, you have a situation where an individual gets in and he takes the party as if it is his own personal possession, and he can hang on to it. It's his personal property, and he can pick those around him and so forth. That is what is destroying Africa. That is what is destroying Zimbabwe. And I think our friends here on this panel should really open up. A lot of people have praised Tsvangirai here. Personally, I don't think he has done a good job. Yes, he has made the sacrifices, but I think particularly on the issue of reforms, that one I cannot accept because he didn't have the opportunity to implement those reforms. He did. I mean, some people Chief Soshe is laughing, but he has never understood reforms anyway, and therefore, then I can understand that. But the point we are coming back to here is that MDC has got the same problem that is affecting ZANU-PF. And that is the point that people are concerned about. And for them to bury their heads in the sand is totally unacceptable.
Right. Okay. So if I get you, I've got a couple of messages. I want to be fair when I do this show. Mukoma Wilbert, I must admit, I've got a couple of messages saying exactly what you're saying there. That this is the problem we have in Africa. That when these parties are formed, it's not about the party. It's about that figurehead, the center of power that somebody has got. That's what people are saying, Sekuru, that really...
Can you clarify that? Can you clarify? There is no political entity that has got no ideology that comes from its proponent. Whether it be in the USA, in China, in Malaysia, in South Africa, there is a proponent of the ideology. There is a custodian of the ideology. So you can't take out that personality and still have the same thing.
Yeah, no.
But then for continuity's sake of that ideology, the person who holds that vision must groom those people that he feels have got shared the common vision with him to a point where they are able to do what he is doing and achieve what he wanted to achieve. And I can assure you now, Tsvangirai is not going to be there in 2023.
Yeah, Sekuru, you can say that, you can disclose that.
An announcement.
The problem we have, Sekuru, is when an opposition leader goes for 20 years, Aripa opposition, Angori leader of the opposition, it doesn't go down well with people.
Which people? The problem is, let's interrogate this. Which people?
No, I mean
the people that put him as a leader are happy with the leadership. It's the same story with Mugabe. We don't have. Let me tell you, we don't have an objection with Mugabe being president of ZANU to his grave. We have got a problem with Mugabe being president of Zimbabwe because in Zimbabwe he doesn't represent all sectarian interests. Do you understand? In MDC, the concept of opposing ZANU is a sectarian concept. And that is best articulated by Tsvangirai. And we subscribe to that.
Sekuru, is there anyone in the party that can take over from Tsvangirai? Yes or no?
There is a plan. Even you, Muzukuru, we can make you MDC president as long as you share the vision that Tsvangirai is articulating.
But hang on, can I come in with this business? The ideology of a party belongs to the party, not to the leader.
No, party,
yes.
The party is a consensus of an ideology that is...
No, Look, Sekuru...
You haven't heard me. You haven't heard me.
Yeah, but you didn't let me finish.
No.
What I was saying.
Okay, finish what you wanted to say.
Okay. The ideology belongs to the party. Okay? People with the same vision then join that party. You look in America, okay? The ideology of the Democrats doesn't belong to any one Democrat. Okay? It belongs to the Democratic Party. The same with the Republican Party. And then out of that pool of same thinking, well, sort of same thinking, they elect somebody to go and represent the party. But the ideology of that party doesn't belong to Obama or to Bush or to Trump or to anybody else. It belongs to the party. Okay,
are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
All right. Now,
can I just say something there, DJ, as well? I think the other thing that some of our friends here are missing altogether is they want the ordinary Zimbabwean to vote for them. But when the ordinary Zimbabwean says to them, this is not right, they say, oh, you're not part of our member, you're not part of our team, of our party, and therefore then we don't listen to you. If you are going to be holding public office, even if I didn't vote for you, you are accountable to every Zimbabwean. You have got to get that one right. You know, you can't pick and choose. If you don't want to be holding public office, then don't stand for public office. Then nobody will be asking you to be accountable.
Right. Is that your input as well? Are you done? Are you done, Wilbert, so that we answer you?
Yeah, go ahead, Sego.
First of all, I want to deal with Sally's concerns. Sally's concerns are that the ideology of the party is the party's ideology, correct? But it cannot become an ideology unless somebody has propagated it. What you call the Democrats now have got a founder. What you call the Republicans now have got a founder of that ideology who has groomed people and they bequeathed them with that ideology, and therefore they pursue it to the letter because there is a succession planning to carry it forward. This is exactly the same concept that the MDC is living on. Now, this issue of the constitution of the MDC having been mutilated to become an open-ended term for the president is an issue that was put to Congress. The Congress was asked if it was possible for the leader to extend because of the non-achievement of the initial objective, and yet it was not the fault of the leader, but the fault of a system that was rigging. And the people overwhelmingly voted for the change. Now, in a democratic society, the majority holds sway. If you don't like it, you go to the other section where the minority holds sway. As far as I'm concerned, I don't like endless terms for the national presidents. I don't care about the private settings of political parties. I'm worried about the national president because the national presidents affect those that voted for the president and those that voted against the president. Therefore, it is important, it is critically important at that level to change the leadership consistently. In a party, if they've got a particular sectarian interest which has not yet been achieved, and they believe the best person to do that is the one that is there, I have got no qualms about that. So, as far as I'm concerned, Mugabe can die president of ZANU. I got no qualms about that. As long as his membership still follows him and likes him to be there. If they say they don't like him, that's their business. Because it's a sectarian interest. But Mugabe, as president of Zimbabwe, becomes a national interest. And therefore, I don't want him, even before he has become ZANU-PF president, to be national president. So it is in my best interest for his term to be limited by national statute. Now, I want to come to Wilbert and say, Wilbert, the issue of us wanting everybody to vote for us is neither here nor there. You can say whatever you want, but it is members of this political party that decide what then happens in their party. That is irregardless of the fact that they want fence sitters to vote along with them. The fence sitters sit on the fence because they want to get the best of both sides. So if you are unhappy with our side, you are free to vote ZANU-PF.
All right. Okay.
Can I ask one last question? One last question. Okay. If the leader of the party stays the same for 20 years,
for 50,
okay, or 100 or 6 million, okay?
Yes.
All right. Now, when the party goes to stand at elections, okay, if people don't like the leader of that party is going to lose just because of the leader. Because the only person they are going to put up is the guy that's been there for 6 million years.
That is true.
They're not going to put up anybody else.
That is true. But it's a sectarian issue. It's a sectarian issue. It has got nothing to do with the national issue. It's those.
Of course it has to do with the national issue. It becomes a national issue.
No,
okay?
It doesn't.
Yes, Sekuru. Because if I don't like Morgan Tsvangirai as the leader, okay?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go vote somewhere else, or I'm not going to vote.
Who has done 2 terms?
Okay. All right. No, as the leader of the party, when it's standing now for who's going to be the president of the country. There's the president of the opposition and the president of the ruling party. Okay.
My question, Sally, is very simple. We are not a political party in a vacuum. We are a political party within a context.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Oh no. Let me just give you the flavor of what I'm getting from people. I never thought this was going to come up to this. Ndangoerenga that little clip that I read there. This one is simply saying, Wakomanaka ushema dzoro. Sekuru understand what this is meaning. This one is saying, at times I feel Zimbabweans don't understand democratic political systems. What ZANU-PF does is what MDC is doing. If a party does not emphasize its policies, it falls into personality politics. Right now, people are only talking of Tsvangirai as MDC, yet there should be other people pushing party agendas. Let me go again. Just to give you the consensus that people are saying here. Kwanzi, this one is saying the baton has to be passed on and the big man be the advisor if he overcomes this illness. Sekuru is missing the point. This one is saying it is wrong Anzi, they want Tsvangirai to die as leader, but oppose Mugabe to do the same, which is wrong anyway. Let the truth be the truth as it stands. Zvinonetsa kupikisa vakuru, asi ndo zvatatarisana nazvo. Tsvangirai is not well and should pass the baton. Let me read this one as well. Tsvangirai has played his part. He took us to GNU and stabilized the nation. That was a role he played. He just needs to rest and add more accolades to himself by becoming a hero. The nation will respect him more when he steps aside and let a young blood take over. That's the consensus I'm getting here, Sekuru. So I'm not just saying this from the top of my head.
I like the consensus, but let me give those people who have got that consensus a challenge. You have got your structures wherever you are. We are going to Congress. You go and nominate the one you want to contest Tsvangirai. It doesn't matter whether he is one of his vice presidents or any other ordinary member. All you need is 10 nominations from any one of the members in good standing in the party. Can you do that? And then see if the whole of the MDC party will go along with you or not. That is democracy.
That is democracy. But Sekuru, Patai Makadaro, I have lived out of Zimbabwe myself, and I see some of the politics, what people do. The leader himself, he doesn't have to be told to step aside. He doesn't have to go and contest in those. He will say, guys, I've been there for 10 years. I'm not going to contest. Choose someone else. Can he not do that?
Correct.
But DJ Murgu, I chimbotipeo mukara timbotao.
Taura is very cheap, so say.
We claim to be proponents of democracy, and when the ethos of democracy are put in place, they have to be respected. I don't know what people and Wilbert are talking about when they say he has to be accountable to the people. He is not listening to his people. He is not listening to the people of Zimbabwe. Like Sekuru rightly pointed out, every political party has got structures. And then when they are going for Congress, there are nominations that are put forward. If the people in the structures who are starting right from the ward to the district to the province to the national, they appoint Tsvangirai. What is wrong with that? Isn't that democracy? Isn't that the democracy we are talking about? Yes, I totally agree with everyone else here. And I've already said it before that the succession issue in MDC need to be dealt with and could have been dealt with, a long time ago. Tsvangirai could have done better with that. But having said that, looking at where we are right now, it's the wrong time for us to be saying we should change a leader. We must change a leader 5 months before a general election. Right now, we are looking at the best person who can win us an election. And to be honest with you and everyone else, we know it deep inside our hearts that the best person right now to lead us against ZANU-PF, to lead us against anyone nominated in ZANU-PF, will be Tsvangirai. He is undoubtedly the most popular leader, the most popular opposition leader we have. So, I'm a sports teacher. Why should I put Munwandoziya to Pakumanya Pares? He's not going to make it number 3 when I have the best one there. What we need right now is Munaruti Vambutsa Red Sea. And Morgan is the best person kuti avambudze ati vambudze right now.
Saka fesi yedziva ndo ichaita kuti vanhu vavote and not fesi yatoko or fesi yaBaba Chamisa. Am I getting you right?
We are just talking about the most popular leader. We are talking about numbers here. Elections are about numbers. Elections are about
Is it about
elections are about the person, the best person possible, the most popular person.
No, so let me help you there. Let me help you.
If you put Tokozani Kupe there, you put Morgan Tsvangirai there, and then there's the next, even MDC match, Tokozani will not win. So why should we take the person who will not serve the interests of the party or the interests of the Zimbabweans, best, when we have someone who is still there? I can tell you this: if Morgan Tsvangirai becomes incapacitated to the extent that he can't execute his duties, you'll be the first one to say, "I'm passing the baton off."
And I can assure you, I have heard a lot of names being touted as a possible successors of Tsvangirai. One of them is Nelson Chamisa. The people say he's young, he's brainy, he's this and that and that and that. But I can assure you, if I stand against Chamisa, he won't win against me.
That's just the point.
No, I have told you.
That's exactly the point.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So, Sekuru.
Yes.
You went to Zimbabwe yourself to vote last time in 2013. Now, are you telling me that as an MDC member yourself, if Tsvangirai is not there tomorrow and Chamisa is there, you will not cast your vote on MDC simply because Tsvangirai's face won't be on the ballot paper?
No, Chamisa is not.
No, just answer that question.
No. Hang on. It's not as simple as you want to put it. Let me answer you properly. If Tsvangirai dies tomorrow and Chamisa throws in his head, I will also campaign to throw my head in, because I think I'm better qualified than Chamisa to lead that party.
No, Sekuru. Let me just Sekuru. Remember, you are just saying for yourself, right? Inini, I just asked you a question here. You went and voted for Labour here in the UK. Now, are you telling me if Chamisa, not even Chamisa for that matter, if anybody is there as MDC, right? Tsvangirai is no longer there, and someone has got the button, is there as MDC, will you go and vote for MDC? Or you will abandon MDC because Tsvangirai is no longer there?
No, I will do that. I will vote for MDC.
You are not voting for the person, you are voting for MDC, are you not?
No.
Because this is the party with your values. This is the party with your policies and your values.
Just hang on. You see, when you ask these questions, you should also listen to the answers. If Tsvangirai dies today, the party calls for an emergency Congress, and the person comes from Congress that he is going to be the next leader. I will vote for that person because he's come from Congress.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Sekuru. Right. Zimbabwe, Zvakuitika panapa is 3 minutes before midnight. I've got a question for all of you guys. It's a one-word answer, and we call it a day. Let me start with you, Teto Mashoko. Teto Mashoko, if you become president of Zimbabwe tomorrow, would you reverse the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport to Harare International Airport?
No.
You leave it as Robert Gabriel Mugabe?
I will. Here is why.
No, I didn't want to hear his why. I just wanted the one answer. Thank you. Sally? Would you change it back if you become the president of Zimbabwe tomorrow? Would you change it back to Harare International Airport, or would you leave it at the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, or would you take it to Sally International Airport?
Oh, my mind is bad.
Yes, that's right.
No, I wouldn't change it in the beginning.
All right. You just leave it as Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport?
For a time.
Okay, that's good. That's all I wanted to know. Chief Soshe?
A person who has presided over the suffering and impoverization of people the way he has done doesn't deserve to have such an important place named after him. I will reverse it immediately.
Right. Sekuru?
I will leave it and forget about it and build a better airport for Zimbabwe National Airport. International Airport.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Mkoma Wilbert.
I will definitely change it.
Right. Okay. And the DJ would definitely go and plaster all that name out and get it back to Harare International Airport. That's in Zimbabwe.
There's a lot of people that pass through Sand.
Oh dear, that
You guys are worried about the name of the airport.
I'm worried about the condition of the airport, okay?
That airport has been run down. It's a relic of the past. We need his name there all the time.
No, but Sekuru, you can't waste money on building a new airport.
It's better because we are improving the economy of the country.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you make the job.
I leave this one as an example of how not to run a country.
Yeah, you leave it as a museum to Gabriel Mugabe.
Absolutely, to teach people.
Okay, guys.
This is what happens.
That's the symbol, evilness. It is.
Yes.
Don't repeat history. We never want to see this, and it should be in your face so that you know.
Yeah. That's how to do
And we will pay you to go and visit it. Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Muzukuru, and all the people who come as refugees to Zimbabwe who landed at Grace Mugabe Airport, everybody else who has got the economic interest who landed at the better airport.
Yeah.
All right.
All the dictators, we'll let them fly in the Robert Mugabe Airlines as well.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Sekuru, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chief Soshe. Thank you, Sekuru. Thank you, Mkoma Wilbert. Thank you, Tete Mashoko. Thank you, Sally. We are still waiting for Comrade Pepe Sekuru. So I can tell him that,
Yes,
you know,
he got his way.
No, he lost the way.
Asika moyo vakatizawo nyika.
Moyo ere?
no, Mamoyo has been here all the time.
Moyo, we are better off.
Please. We've got enough trouble with Chief Soswe and Sekuru.
Anyway, Sekuru, mukazoona wapepe mwataura kuti as a lecturer really I expected more from him.
No, you know what? He messaged me and he told me his GPS gave him the wrong direction. The GPS said, you want to go to Robert Mugabe Airport. And he found himself by the cliffs of Dover there, ready to jump onto the...
Okay. All right, anyway, the last track we are going to play here, I'm dedicating it to Sekuru. And Sekuru, I hope you're going to enjoy this one. Kambo kubva kuna Paul Madzore kanonzi ikoko kuseri kwa Tsvangirai ndiko kune upenyu. In the back of Tsvangirai, or maybe in front of Tsvangirai, that's where life is. That's where all the oxygen comes from. So we thank Sando Zawa Tsvangirai. And on a serious note,
honestly, Sally, before when you finish editing and everything, can you give me a copy? I'll give it to his office here, which is
No. You know why?
Why not?
Because I don't beat a sick man down. I can't say to him, no, listen to me. I can't say to him what I said face to face. In his condition, okay?
No,
it's something that Sekuru, you missed my point. It's something that he should come up by himself without anybody telling him. That's my story, okay? I don't want anybody to tell him. I don't want anything. It's something that he should have within himself that he says. Not something that he hears people saying.
Wiko. Tete Mashogo.
Ewa baba.
Muno kwanisa kuitira were kuti muwane video iyo kana recording yacho monditira.
But you can take the video. Sekuru, it's there. I put it on YouTube. It's there. Anybody can watch it.
All right, I will send it to him direct.
But remember something. You're doing it without my blessing, eh?
I know that.
Okay.
It's not the right way to do something with a man that has colon cancer. This is not the right way.
I know the person
that's very true.
I know the person that I'm sending it to, and I know.
Sekuru, please.
Kusani kwa Tsvangirai ndiko kusani kwa Tsvangirai ndiko kusani kwa Tsvangirai ndiko kusani kwa Tsvangirai ndiko.
This is a disclaimer. The opinions expressed by contributors during radio call-in shows are solely those of the individual callers and do not reflect the opinions of Zimnet Radio, DJs, presenters, managers or administration. Listeners are encouraged and advised to seek the services of qualified professionals for their personal problems.
In touch with the best online station, Zimnet Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of entertainment.
No, stop messing about.
Thank you.